Hello, dear aspirants. Good day. Hope you all are doing good. 27 July 2026. Important news articles, important current affairs, which are quite important for our examination. We will be discussing in coming minutes. Keep focused. So, what all we will be discussing is that about Sarnath, then again, soil management for sustainable agriculture, right to protest and excessive policing. Next, Public Examination Amendment Bill 2026, and FDI's foreign direct investment in inventory based e commerce for exports. Rapid fire. We will check few pointers for prelims for preliminary examination, which are straightforward lines which we have to remember so that we can perform better in the examination. Coming to the main subject. So Sarnath. So what is Sarnath? Recently, Sarnath has been selected. Recently, Sarnath has been selected as 45th UNESCO World Heritage Site. 45th UNESCO World Heritage Site. So remember, before we start, we need to recollect where is Sarnath located. Sarnath is located at Uttar Pradesh, Varanasi. Okay, so why it is unique is that it is the place where Lord Gautam Buddha delivered his first sermon. So where Lord Gautam Buddha has delivered his first sermon after enlightenment. So what is that first sermon called as Dharma Chakra Parvartana? Dharma Chakra Parvartana, turning the wheel of law. Turning the wheel of law, where the Buddhist Sangha was founded. So Buddhist Sangha was founded. Lord Buddha delivered his first sermon after enlightenment. So why did he attain enlightenment? Under people tree, right? So under people tree, he attained enlightenment. After attaining enlightenment, this was the first speech he delivered at Sarnath. And again, this is the first significance of Sarnath. And the other significance is that it is one out of the four pilgrimage sites named by Lord Buddha himself. Lord Buddha himself mentioned four different pilgrimage sites for Buddhism. So among those, one is Sarnath. So out of all those, so what are they that four? Lumbini, Bodh Gaya, Kushinagar. Lumbini, Bodh Gaya, Kushinagar, Sarnath. So Lumbini, Bodh Gaya and Sarnath, these three places as of now are being recognized by UNESCO World Heritage Site. UNESCO World Heritage Site. So which means 3 out of 4, total 4 pilgrimage sites out of 4, 3 have already been declared by UNESCO as World Heritage Site. Clear? Is it clear? Okay. So next, this is the second significance of Sarnath. Next, again coming under what criteria did they select? So for UNESCO to select as a World Heritage Site, for an UNESCO to select as a World Heritage Site, there are nearly 10 different criteria. 1, 2, 3, like that. So there are 10 different criteria. So out of all those criteria 3 and 6, under criteria 3 and 6, Sarnath has been selected. So for what? For spiritual role, for enduring the spiritual role and direct association with Buddha's life teachings and Three Ratna, Buddha, Dharma and Sangha. Buddha, Dharma and Sangha. So for enduring the spiritual role, for direct association with the Buddha's life and teachings, and Three Ratna. What is Three Ratna? Buddha, Dharma as well as Sangha. So this is the third significance. Next one, coming to UNESCO sites. So UNESCO sites in India, total as of now we are having 45th. This is the 45th one. So where it has been recognized as World Heritage Site at 45th session, at 45th, at 48th session of World Heritage Committee in Busan, South Korea. 48th session of World Heritage Committee in Busan, South Korea. So taking India's total number to 45. So globally, we are on the 6th rank. So total 45, 6th rank. In Asia as well as Pacific region, we are in second rank. Asia Pacific region la second rank. Globally we are on sixth rank, with total 45 sites. So now in the comment section, do let me know, so which is the country, what country is having highest number of UNESCO World Heritage Site, or let me know the first three countries which are having the highest number of UNESCO sites, and to kindly mention how many UNESCO sites they are having. Okay, so India is having 45 as of now, 45 UNESCO World Heritage Site. So what happens when a place is selected as UNESCO World Heritage Site? The first thing is they get financial assistance for its preservation, protection. Okay, so and the second thing what happens is cultural protection. Okay, cultural protection. And the third thing is that during wartime there will be extra protection. During wartime there will be extra protection. Okay, so going forward, this is all about Sarnath. This is all about Sarnath. What we have discussed is that. So next one we will be discussing about one important question with respect to Sarnath. So, with reference to Sarnath recent UNESCO inscription, consider the following statements. Sarnath is the fourth of the four principal Buddhist pilgrimage site identified by Buddha to receive UNESCO World Heritage status. I told you it is the third out of fourth, not fourth out of fourth. Not fourth out of fourth, but it is third out of fourth. Okay, the lion capital at Sarnath was carved during the reign of Ashoka and later adapted as India's national emblem. Yes, we all know this, and we are well aware of this. We are quite aware of this, right? So the next one, Sarnath was inscribed solely under criteria 6 of the UNESCO operational guidelines. I told you there are 10 different guidelines prescribed by UNESCO to be selected as UNESCO World Heritage Site, but while selecting Sarnath, they have selected in a criteria 3 as well as 6. Criteria 3 and 6. So, but here in the statement they mentioned criteria 6. That is the reason, and this is false. So, therefore, option 2 only stands as right. Option 2. Okay, clear? Next one, going to another important part, soil management for sustainable agriculture. So there was an amazing article in the newspaper which states about soil management for sustainable agriculture. Imagine an year without food. Imagine an year without agriculture. So can human beings survive without agriculture? Can human beings survive without food? Absolutely not. So whatever we are doing is to fill our stomach. So there is a famous quote which states that anything can wait. So which was said by Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru, anything can wait but not agriculture. Yes, anything can wait but not agriculture. Anything can wait but not agriculture. Yes, so agriculture doesn't wait because we know, right? So next we will see. So what the articles mentions about and what the article is talking about, soil management for sustainable agriculture. So soil underpins India's farm economy, food security as well as rural livelihood. So soil doesn't only stay as a soil, it is acting as economy for our country. It is acting to secure our food security. It is acting to enhance the rural livelihoods. So nearly 46 percentage of workforce depends on agriculture. In our country, 46 percentage of our population depends on agriculture. Nearly 59 percentage of countries reported area is under cultivation. So 59 percentage of our land is under cultivation. 46 percentage depend on agriculture. So key interventions. The article talks that soil health card scheme. So recently PIB has released an information that soil health card scheme 2.89 crore cards were issued, crop specific nutrient advice. So in the last 5 years there were 2 to 3 questions from soil health card scheme. So they asked you which of the following micronutrients are been mentioned in soil health card scheme. Potassium, calcium, manganese, all these they have mentioned with scientific names. So your work for today is that read soil health card scheme completely directly from the ministry's website. So what ministry, that also you have to quote me in the comment section. So under which ministry soil health card scheme comes, under which ministry soil health card scheme comes, and what are the macronutrients and micronutrients under it. Macronutrients and micronutrients. So next one we have National Mission on Natural Farming. National Mission on Natural Farming. And the last one is Khet Bachao Abhiyan campaign. Khet Bachao Abhiyan campaign. So recently, Indian Council of Agriculture Research, ICAR, Indian Council of Agriculture Research, ICAR, has given timeline data of Khet Bachao Abhiyan campaign. So Khet Bachao Abhiyan campaign is under Ministry of Agriculture and Farmers Welfare. Ministry of Agriculture and Farmers Welfare. So under this, Indian Council of Agriculture Research has conducted Khet Batao Abhiyan, Khet Bachao Abhiyan campaign. So which means protecting the natural ecosystem, protecting the soils of our land. So by using minimum required micronutrients or macronutrients, which means by using only required fertilizers and preserving the soil. So whereby the farmers are being educated by various campaigns. So what kind of fertilizers to use and not to use excessive fertilizers. So this is a campaign which is run by Ministry of Agriculture and Farmers Welfare under Indian Council of Agriculture Research. So this I have mentioned clearly, this I spoke very clearly, and your part is that you have to learn soil health card scheme as well as National Mission on Agriculture Farming, because so these two schemes are there from past 4 to 5 years. There are in news from past 5 years. So regarding that, one or the other day they will be on news, and you should be aware of it. You have to be aware of it. Next, India's major type of soils are alluvial soil, black soil, red soil, laterite soil, desert type of soil, forest and hill soil, and saline alkaline. So they shape regional cropping choices and vulnerability to degradation. Yes, so mostly hilly areas are more prone to degradation. Yes or no? So depending on the type of rain, depending on the rain pattern they receive, the land can be more fertile or less fertile. So soil is major carbon sink. Okay, so which aids in the Green India Mission or carbon credit trading system like soil organic carbon to climate mitigation, as well as helps in additional farmer income. So soils mostly act as carbon sink. So most of the carbon what we are generating, it is a soil that is being trapped. It is a soil that helps in trapping excess amount of carbon dioxide released. So even these days there are several companies which are going for carbon sequestration at the end, where we are using soil only to capture the excess amount of carbon dioxide. The digital soil. So the government has come up with a unique feature which is called as the digital soil ecosystem. Digital soil ecosystem through AgriStack, which means updating the related aspects of soil in AgriStack, the Digital Agriculture Mission, satellite-based soil mapping. Yes, government is using everything for everything satellite-based information. Government is using satellites to trap the potholes in the road and to repair them on time. So, as per the parliament discussions, and the AI driven advisories for precision agriculture. So, this is all about soil management for sustainable agriculture. So, this is an article given in one of the major newspapers. So, which we discussed the outcome of the newspaper. So, and we discussed about three important schemes. The thing which we have to focus is here is that soil health card scheme, National Mission on Agriculture, Natural Farming, Khet Bachao Abhiyan campaign. Clear? So next, consider the following pairs of soil types and characteristics feature. Black soil, high moisture retention, rich in lime as well as calcium. So laterite soil, formed through intense leaching in rainfall regions. Desert soil, low soluble soil content, and high moisture retention. So, see, so mostly when you go into coastal areas, desert type of soil will be there, sandy soil will be there. So they don't retain moisture much. Therefore, this statement can be false. So and they have high amount of soil content, and most of the soil manufacturing units are being there. Yes or no? So therefore, the third statement is wrong. So black soil doesn't retain so much of moisture content. Okay, so it is a laterite soil which is formed to intense leaching in high rainfall regions. Therefore, mm, black soil has high moisture retention. It is rich in lime. Okay, rich in lime as well as calcium. Therefore, option A as well as B, which means 1 and 2 are right. Option B is right. Clear? So, going forward to another important topic which we need to discuss, like they have to be balanced in discussing this topic. Right to protest and excessive policing. So right to protest and excessive policing. So recently on July 2026, a movement led by Gen Zs, in our country. So specifically, satirical online party, Cockroach Janata Party, which has called for Sansad March on July 2026. But despite the government not giving permission, Delhi police has declined giving permission, but yet the satirical party launched definitely said that they will be definitely going to Sunset March. This has opened this has opened a fresh debate or discussion on constitutional limiting to policing protest, and amid allegations of pellet guns, shock buttons, internet shutdowns, as well as metro closures. So what happened at this point is that there were several clashes. Police were seen brutally harassing even females, children. 12-year girl child was also being harassed, was also being beaten. So there were reports showing pellet guns, usage of pellet guns, tear gas, then excessive lathi charge. So all these were witnessed on July 20. So protesters claim that right to protest is fundamental right, and we have right to march despite police declining the permission to sunset march. Here the balance comes, right to protest as well as excessive policing. So what does various court cases state about the this kind of situation? Okay, so this kind of situation, in various cases Supreme Court has took a stand and given guidelines for various cases. So let us look into what the Supreme Court is talking about this. The right to protest is not an express fundamental right but flows from articles. So right to protest comes from the article 19 1A B C. Okay, 1A and B. 1A B C and article 21, which is subject to reasonable restrictions under article 19 2 3, such as BNSS 2023. So which means right to protest is not absolute right. Right to protest is not absolute, but it comes with reasonable restrictions. It has a reasonable restrictions. See, the very first case we will discuss is Ram Manohar Lohia versus State of Bihar in the year 1965. The court distinguished that law and order from public order. So restrictions are valid. Which means police can implement certain restrictions on rights are valid only when the latter is genuinely threatened, which means if only public order is genuinely threatened, in those cases only restrictions can be applied to right to protest. So public order ఏమైనా మిస్ప్లేస్ అవుతుంది అనుకున్నప్పుడు మాత్రమే they can impose reasonable restrictions for right to protest. In the case of Ram Manohar Lohia versus State of Bihar. So later, in few cases, so Supreme Court has also given few guidelines. So Himatlal Ramila Himat Lal Shah, Ramlila Maidan, Anita Thakur, Amit Shani, so held. Protest may be regulated. Protest can be regulated but not extinguished. So protest should be regulated but not completely erased. So force must be last resort. Force, usage of police force, usage of tear gas, usage of lathi charge, usage of pellet guns. So all these should be last resort but not in the initial phases. Okay, so which means when there is no other option left out, then the last option should be usage of police force. Indefinite occupation is not protected. Indefinite occupation is not protected under these guidelines. Next, again, structural concerns. So here we have seen that the very thing we have to note is that Prakash Singh 2006 Supreme Court has given clear-cut guidelines under Prakash Singh. Prakash Singh guidelines. Supreme Court has given various guidelines. So we'll have a quick review of what are all those guidelines. So to set up, Supreme Court advised to set up State Security Commission. State Security Commission is set up చేయాలి, and also fixed tenure for DGP. Fixed tenure for DGP 2 years. Okay, and next fixed tenure for SPs, fixed tenure for station house officers for about 2 years. So consider this second point. Director General of Police of Delhi Police, before 2 days of the Sansad March, before 2 days, immediate 2 days before of the Sansad March, the Director General of Delhi Police has been transferred and new DGP was appointed. And the new DGP's guidelines, protest has been held and the police used excessive lathi charge. So which means the guidelines with respect to Prakash Singh directives were not followed till date. And also it asked the government to set up police establishment board, police establishment board, police complaint authority, police complaint authority. So here the court is asking that every district should have police complaining authority if the police uses excessive force, or if the police are involved in any misconduct, or if the police are having any irregularities with respect to their job, so or they are corrupt, or they are asking you to make any corruption, then you can approach police complaint authority. So but till date it was given in 2006. Despite 2 decades, there is no district where police complaint authority has been established. So which means there is no implementation of Prakash Singh directives. So which means Prakash Singh directives are the directives given by the court, and the union government as well as state governments fail to implement Prakash Singh guidelines. So next one, so as per United Nations, per 1 lakh population, there has to be 222 police. 222 police per 1 lakh population. But in our country, we are lacking it. We have only 155 per 1 lakh population. There is a lacunae. There is a lacunae between the required norm of United Nations as well as the existing police personnel in our country. So all these gaps talks about again the structural reforms we need to build for effective policing as well as right to protest. So we need to balance the both, because dissent is a part of democracy, right to protest is a part of democracy. To make our democracy alive, we need to form a clear cut line between excessive policing as well as right to protest. This is what the article talks about. We will see one good question with respect to right to protest. with reference to constitutional and statutory provisions on public assembly in India, consider the following statements. Restrictions on freedom of assembly under Article 19.3 can be imposed only in the interest of sovereignty and integrity of India or public order. Okay. So next one, under BNS 2023, any assembly of 5 or more persons is automatically classified as unlawful. No, sorry. So here the district police has to give guidelines prior that any person above 5 years, if there is an imposition of only that act, then it gets valid, but not always. The Supreme Court in Ram Manohar Lohia versus State of Bihar held that a threat to law and order alone justifies restriction to right to assemble. So it's not alone, public order is also mentioned. Okay, so public order is also there, therefore option 2 and 3 are wrong and option 1 is right. Clear? So the right to protest as well as excessive policing. So next one, so public examination amendment bill. Public examination amendment bill. So we know from past 10 years there were several paper leaks throughout India. So despite getting one good act in frame, yet the paper leaks hasn't been stopped, and nobody till now, only it was noted that only 3 people were put behind prison using this act. Today the time has come to reform the act. That is the reason the central government has come up with certain amendments to the existing act, which is called as Public Examination Amendment Bill 2026. So what has government done is that it has removed 47 NTA officials. Okay, so National Testing Agency, the government has removed 47 NTA officials. Controversies exam because of examinations like NEET, the government introduced a public examination, so which is also called as Prevention of Unfair Means Amendment Bill 2026, with steeper jail terms as well as fines. Next one, the High Power Task Force chaired by Nandan Nilekani has been constituted to recommend next generation the technology driven and tamper resistant reforms to examination system. High power task force has been formed, which is chaired by Nandan Nilekani. So next one, we will see what is the bill talking about. The very first provision of the bill is that the time bound investigation within 60 days the investigation has to be completed, and to set up special fast track courts. Okay, the second point is it, and the third one is that the trial should be completed within 3 months of charge sheet. After putting charge sheet, within the 3 months of time period, the entire trial should be completed. Okay, so basically, and a few acts even they don't come for discussion even. Okay, so but here within 3 months the charge sheet, the trial, everything should be completed. So on par, so earlier 2024 act, and again considering the 2024 act, as well as Radhakrishnan Commission 101 recommendations. Radhakrishnan Commission has recommended 101 recommendations with respect to fair examination conduction. Okay, so next one, it proposed, so what it has also proposed is that the first one is to set up task force, and the second one is time bound punishment legal ga em cheyali అని చెప్పేసి. The third one is proposed fixes, just in time encrypted. So encrypted question papers will be set up, locally printed papers. So imagine, to explain you this, tomorrow you are having UPSC preliminary examination. So the question paper will be, basically the question paper will be printed 15 to 20 days back in various parts of India, and it will be transported to the district headquarters, and on the examination day you will be receiving the copy of your question paper. But here just in time encrypted, which means the before day of exam the question paper will be reaching your district center through online. Okay, only with the help of password the question paper can be accessed, and it is to be locally printed question paper. So algorithmic randomization, so which algorithmic randomization is a technique in which no single person in the room will be getting same questions. Okay, so imagine 20% sitting in a single room, but 20% questions will not be same. Every person will be getting different questions. And next, via item response theory, it is a form of theory in which the difficulty of the questions will be calculated. So here I told you, imagine 20 members are there in a room. So 20 members, each 20 members difficulty of the part examination questions will be weighed. So they will be they will be given 1 to 10 ranking, how much is the difficulty, 5, 6 or 7 or 8 or 10. So depending on this, they check that according to item response theory, it should be validated that every person in the room will be getting the difficulty level of same, the difficulty level of 7, the difficulty level of 8. Okay, so everybody will be given different questions, but the difficulty is going to be the same. Next one, air gapped intranet based test. So here air gapped intranet test, which means the system where you are sending the question paper. So you are sending preliminary question paper from New Delhi to Hyderabad, New Delhi to Warangal. So wherever it is, when you are sending the question paper, the system, the CPU will not be having any internet, any Wi-Fi, or any Wi-Fi, no, or any Bluetooth. So no access to any form of online connectivity. So whereby it reduces the chances for hackers to hack. There is no chance of being hacked here. Okay, so and the next important thing, the bill want to set up is independent national examination audit commission. Independent national examination audit commission, which has to be highly appreciated thing is that, so we don't know whether all these will come into action or not. This specific thing, independent national audit commission, is quite appreciable thing, because it is like, imagine like a CAG will audit all the central government accounts and all. Similarly, National Examination Audit Commission will be auditing each and every examination, how the exam has been conducted. So from the beginning, from the day of notification to the day of announcing the result, or to the day of recruitment process, how the examination has been conducted. So it will take care of all the process, which means it will have an account of all the examinations being conducted towards all throughout the India. So how good it is going to work if suppose if it is going to be set up. Okay, so these reforms are connected to Article 14 as well as 16, equality of opportunity. Clear? If a person is having excess amount and he can purchase the question paper, so whereby equality to other person who can't purchase the question paper has been lost. That is why the line to start a competition should be fair. So it comes under Article 14 and 15, equality of opportunity, given the scale of youth unemployment and the human cost of repeated exam delays as well as failure. So there is no specific calculation on the globe where you can calculate the pressure put on you to rewrite the examination, the pressure put on you to recalculate, to recalculate or redo the examination which you have already done and waiting for the result, again asking you to come from the very beginning. So all these considering, the government has come up with public examination amendment bill. For us, what is important is that the government is going to set up fast track court, time bound investigation, trial completion within 3 months, within 3 months of charge sheet and all. Okay, so next one, what it did proposed algorithmic randomization, item response theory, air gapped internet based test, independent national commission, audit commission. Next, time bound encrypted thing. So if you want to note down, so you can note down like this. Sorry if I have overwritten this. Okay, clear? So next one, so one question from here, with reference to reforms in public examination system, consider the following statements. The Public Examinations Prevention of Unfair Means Amendment Act 2026 provides for special task force courts designated from among the courts, the existing courts of session. Yes or no? ఎస్ ఎగ్జిస్టింగ్ కోడ్స్తోని మళ్ళీ ఇంకా ఫాస్ట్ ట్రాక్ కోడ్ సెటప్ చేయడం. ద ఐటమ్ రెస్పాన్స్ ఏరియాస్ ప్రైమర్లీ యూస్ టు ఫిజికల్లీ ట్రాన్స్పోర్ట్ ఎన్క్రిప్టెడ్ క్వశ్చన్ పేపర్స్ టు ఎగ్జామినేషన్ సెంటర్స్. నో, not like that. So it is like I told you, it is a method of calculating the level of question papers, the level of question paper given to each individual person. The 2026 high power task force on examination reforms is chaired by former chairperson of Aadhaar, Unique Identification Authority of India. Yes, option 1 and 3 are correct. Option 1 and 3 are correct. Okay, so performing such a large task requires prior experienced person in this. So with respect to this, I will give you one good mains question. Please try to write down. Definitely there will be a question with respect to this in your upcoming mains examination. Examination malpractice undermines the constitutional guarantee of equality of opportunity. Discuss the structural and technological reforms needed to secure the integrity of India's public examination ecosystem with reference to recent legislative as well as institutional measures. So legislative measures, what did it come up with? So it came up with an act. It came up with an act. Again, we are trying to amend that on par with the requirement of the present times. Okay, clear? So what are the various institutional measures? So we have set up task force, right? So under this task force, and also again, so what kind of technology we are going to use with respect to the proposed bill? With respect to the proposed bill, what we are actually going to do. So try to mention all those and definitely write this question and try to post it in the comment section. I will get it corrected and give it to you. Okay, so next one, foreign direct investment in inventory based e-commerce for exports. For this to understand, I will explain you what is foreign direct investment. So example, imagine an Apple company is going to establish its manufacturing unit at Hyderabad. Okay, so if it is going to establish a manufacturing unit in Hyderabad, it will acquire land. Okay, so it will build its infrastructure. Okay, so it will hire few employees and it will start functioning. Clear? So the entire ecosystem is a long term. So suddenly, if there is something unexpected thing happen, it can't at an overnight pack up and go. It will be there, well established. That is why it is called foreign direct investment. Foreign direct investment. So which means it has a long term strategic plan. So okay, this is all about foreign direct investment. So coming to inventory. So what is inventory? So you consider example, see here, I told you Apple company is setting a company at its manufacturing unit at Hyderabad. So at Hyderabad, it has manufactured some 100 iPhones. Okay, so it manufactured 100 iPads. It manufactured 100 MacBook. Okay, so all these it is keeping as a stock with them. So this stock is called as inventory. This stock is called as inventory. Okay, clear? So ide kakunda if an e-commerce company Amazon, if Amazon is setting up a warehouse at Hyderabad and it is acquiring 100 the 100 iPhones manufactured by Apple phone itself, Amazon is acquiring and it is keeping in its warehouse. So this stock is called as inventory. This stock is called as inventory. Okay, so is it clear? Is it clear? Okay. So here, so India has amended its foreign direct investment policy to let foreign funded inventory based e-commerce, foreign funded. So all those foreign companies who are funding e-commerce, inventory based e-commerce. So inventory based e-commerce example, you can quote Amazon, Flipkart, Meesho, so Blinkit. Okay, so inventory based e-commerce, imagine them how they are functioning. Amazon doesn't manufacture your iPhones, Amazon doesn't manufacture your water bottles, Amazon doesn't manufacture your textile, your dresses, but it will just acquire them and keep it with them to sell. Okay, they hold inventory in solely for exporting commercially manufactured goods, domestically manufactured goods. Okay, సో గవర్నమెంట్ ఏం చేసింది అంటే లోకల్గా డొమెస్టికల్గా మ్యానుఫ్యాక్చర్ చేసే గూడ్స్ని ఇన్వెంటరీగా స్టోర్ చేసుకునే కంపెనీస్ ఏవైతే ఉన్నాయో సో వాటికి ఫారెన్ ఫండెడ్ ఇన్వెంటరీస్కి పర్మిషన్ ఇస్తుంది solely for exporting domestically manufactured goods, while ban on domestic retail sales continues. సో డొమెస్టిక్ రీటైల్ సేల్స్ ఏవైతే ఉన్నాయో వాటికి బ్యాన్ ఏదైతే ఉందో దట్ ఈస్ yet existing, but only for exporting domestic manufactured goods the permission has been relaxed under foreign direct investment policy. The change, which is notified by Department of Industrial Policy and Institute of Promotion (DPIIT), it aims to widen global market access for Indian sellers, especially MSMEs, Tier 2 and 3 manufacturers in handicraft, garments, gems, as well as jewelry. Okay, so clear? So global platforms such as Amazon and Flipkart can now source from Indian manufacturers, hold export only inventory. Okay, only inventory, but not for retail sales. Okay, and manage export documentation, testing, and labeling on their behalf. Existing safeguards for smaller traders and prohibition of FDI in multi-brand retail remain untouched. Critics, often those who critic, they say that there is a difficulty of actually separating exports and domestic inventories for monitoring. సో డొమెస్టిక్గా ఇన్వెంటరీస్ ఏవి ఎక్స్పోర్ట్ చేయాలి అనేది క్లియర్ కట్ క్లారిటీ తెలీదు. సో యాక్చువల్లీ హ్యావింగ్ ఏ క్లియర్ కట్ క్లారిటీ ఓవర్ దిస్ ఈజ్ ఎసెన్షియల్ అనేసి క్రిటిక్స్ అంటున్నారు. సో ద విజన్ ఆఫ్ దిస్ ఈజ్ దాట్ ద ఈ-కామర్స్ ఎక్స్పోర్ట్ని 2030 వరకు $80 billion క్యుములేటివ్గా ఇండియా టార్గెట్ చేస్తుంది, విచ్ మీన్స్ ఇండియా సపోర్ట్స్ టార్గెట్ ఆఫ్ $80 billion in the cumulative e-commerce export by 2030. So from the district market model, where the platform newer owns inventory and 100% FDI is already allowed automatically. So this is all about foreign direct investment in inventory based e-commerce for exports. So one question we will take up from this area: consider the following statements regarding India's foreign direct investment policy in e-commerce. Under the market based e-commerce model, the e-commerce entity itself owns the inventory sold to consumers. Is it true? No. So FDI inventory based e-commerce model is now permitted for both domestic retail and export of domestically produced goods. No, only for export of domestically produced goods. Next, implementation of revised FDI policy requires a notification and a Foreign Exchange Management Act. Yes, it requires. Yes. It is not, sorry, I told you this is not for domestic retail, but it is only for export of, so for which option 2 is going to be wrong. Option 3 is right. Clear? So next one we will see. So few important prelims pointers. So weightlifter Mirabai Chanu so won the India's first gold for 2026 Commonwealth Games, which are conducted at Glasgow, in the women's 48 kgs category. So remember, in exam they will ask you 48 kgs or 55 kgs or 60 kgs. So she won gold medal in Commonwealth Games 48 kgs category with total lift of 190 kg. So 190 kgs lift చేసిందా, 180 kgs lift చేసిందా, all these will be asked in state PCS. Don't worry, these questions will be there. So be focused on that 190 kgs, 48 kgs category, 2026 Commonwealth Games held at Glasgow. Next, this is her third consecutive Commonwealth Games gold after Gold Coast. 2018లో గోల్డ్ కోస్ట్లో వచ్చింది, 2022లో కూడా వచ్చింది. దిస్ ఈస్ ద థర్డ్ గోల్డ్ మెడల్ షీ వన్. సో అండర్ సైన్స్ అండ్ టెక్నాలజీ కేటగిరీ ఇండియన్ సైంటిస్ట్ ఒక యూనిక్ స్మార్ట్ కాలర్ని తయారు చేశారు. ఏంటి అంటే ఇంటర్నెట్ ఆఫ్ థింగ్స్ ఐఓటీ బేస్డ్ స్మార్ట్ కాలర్. సో ఫర్ వాట్? టు మానిటర్ ద హెల్త్ అండ్ స్ట్రెస్ మూమెంట్ ఆఫ్ హై ఆల్టిట్యూడ్ లైక్ యాక్స్. సో యాక్స్ హై ఆల్టిట్యూడ్లో లైక్ హిమాలయన్ గ్రేజింగ్ ఏరియాస్లో అక్కడ మూవ్ అవుతున్నప్పుడు సో వాటిని ట్రాక్ చేయడం కోసము, వాటి హెల్త్ని చూసుకోవడం కోసము సైన్స్ అండ్ టెక్నాలజీ సైంటిస్టులు ఏం చేశారంటే ఇంటర్నెట్ ఆఫ్ థింగ్స్ బేస్డ్ స్మార్ట్ కాలర్ని డెవలప్ చేశారు. ఓకే, నెక్స్ట్ వన్. So Maharashtra has uploaded India's first AI-powered bird detection and monitoring center at Tain Creek Flamingo Sanctuary. So at Tain Creek Flamingo Sanctuary, Maharashtra has approved first AI-powered bird detection and monitoring center. So straightforward question they can ask you: under which of the following bird sanctuaries AI-powered bird detection and monitoring center has been set up? It is at Tain Creek Flamingo Sanctuary. Using automated image and sound recognition, the track species along the Central Asian Flyway. So, where is this Tain Creek located? This is between Mumbai as well as Navi Mumbai. Was declared wildlife sanctuary in the year 2015. Is India's first dedicated flamingo sanctuary. India's first dedicated flamingo sanctuary hosting over 200 bird species. It hosts over 200 bird species. So these are the rapid fire questions with respect to prelims. Okay, we have one good question with respect to this area. So with reference to recent developments in Indian wildlife and sports, consider the following statements. The Tain Creek Flamingo Sanctuary lies along the Central Asian Flyway, a migratory route and linking Europe, Central Asia as well as Indian subcontinent. Yes, the Indian wild yak is listed as endangered. So it's not endangered, it is vulnerable. It is vulnerable. Okay, under IUCN Red List. Next one, Mirabai Jahu won at 2026 Commonwealth Games, was her fourth consecutive gold medal. No, it is her third consecutive gold medal. So here, therefore, the very first statement is right. Only option A is right. Clear? So Mirabai Jahu third gold medal, Glasgow third medal వచ్చింది. Okay, so this is all about today's current affairs. Be focused. Keep revising the things, they are quite important. In today's current affairs, most of the things are quite important for mains examination. So only few prelims pointers are quite important for preliminary examination. Think that you are going to give examination in very soon and keep preparing. Do something daily, work out daily so that it will add up to your dream. Thank you so much.